Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, welcome to another live show. Yeah, in the morning, early hours, early doors. We've got three parts of the whole. It's going to be a short show. I've got another appointment I need to be heading to. But yeah, join me in the live chat. Hopefully the live chat will be working this time. I don't know whether YouTube have sorted themselves out. But I've always got my trusty mobile phone to read the comments there. And also we'll be going into the poll. The voting. We'll put a different vote up for you guys to test your little finger. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to get into this one, this short show on the other side of this music intro. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Ah, my goodness. Yes. We are here. We are live after that. The treacherous, well, the heat wave. The heat wave is still with us, but I think that the temperature's kind of topped 40.2, I don't know, degrees Celsius. But anyway, I went out to appointment and some things didn't happen. Anyway, right down it does say to us subscribe to Canal 40 TV, so you can hit the bell notification button. You can receive almost the latest and breaking news right here. It's going to be a short show because again I've got another appointment I need to be. So let's see how far we get on this one. Now I need to make sure that the live chat. Let's see, because if there's some blockage again, I'm going to lose my mind up in here. Bear me a second, people. I can see there's 5 of you watching now. All right, let me have my trusty mobile phone running parallel with me on this Wednesday morning show over here. Right, so first things first, which new segment shall we do first? Well, let's do this one, methinks. Leroy Sane. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do another video in regards to this gentleman here who we had a debate, a running debate, you and I, in regards to who would we choose if the choices were only Leroy Sane and Gabby Martinelli. Now, I received some messages after the live show yesterday. Were they criticizing me? They weren't criticizing, but they're just saying that, how can you compare Leroy Sane to Gabby Martinelli? I thought, well, I can do it because I can, but also because they both play on the wing. We've got a player who's got a lot of potential in Gabby Martinelli, and Leroy Sane is the final product. But I thought the comparisons were fair. So the news is Arsenal are eyeing up a move for a £59 million rated Bayern Munich star. Mikel Arteta is keen to add a winger to his squad and has turned his attention to the German international after missing out on Rafinha. Rafinha was never going to happen anyway. But a particular sports writer on CBS Sports claims that Sane is one number of targets that the Gunners of Chelsea and Real Madrid are also interested in the ex-Man City star. Now, I'm going to be doing a video later on today. I can't do it now because I've been so busy this morning. But look out for that video. Again, my thoughts on Leroy Sane. I think it would be a good addition. And let me compare this player then to Leroy Sane. Nicolas Pepe. What about that comparison there? Is that a fair comparison if I compare Leroy Sane to Nicolas Pepe? Both left-footed, both play on the wing. One of them have had, how can I say this? Not the best of careers at Arsenal, and the other one has done fairly well for himself during his time at Man City, and since he has left Man City to play for Bayern. So is that a fair comparison? Can I make that comparison there? Is that all right? You give me the green light. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me take that off. And who is the other new segment? The other new segment is, well, this one's quite interesting, to be honest. Let me get the gaffer's face up. The gaffer, where's the gaffer? There he is. Micah Richards. slammed Arsenal for signing second-rate players last summer. This is coming from the Daily Mirror online. It says that, but Mikel Arteta has proven the former Man City man wrong with his transfer business. Before I read this, I kind of had to edit this here. I completely agree with Michael Richards, even up until now. Because he's bought players that are not going to feature in the first team, apart from Gabby Jesus. We have to wait and see when Zinchenko is done. That are possibly going to be two players out of five. So I agree with Michael Richards. They have been second-rate players. Anyway, so let me go into this edited version of the new segment. And after their traumatic start to last season, Michael Richards, remember, he said this last year, August, was adamant that the club's transfer strategy smacked of a club in a major rut. So speaking last August, he told Five Live Sport, at this moment, Arsenal can't attract top players because players want to go to the better performing teams at this moment in time. But when you say they've spent a lot of money, they're buying second tier players or players with good potential who could become that. You should think that the manager's got some input in players that they're getting. But I just think with Arsenal now, they've got themselves in such a rut. They've done a couple of panic buys. Now, this report, again on Daily Mirror online, says, but 12 months on, it's clear that the current Arsenal project is more attractive than it's been for years under Arteta. And the club's transfer strategy is one of the main reasons why. We're not there yet. We are not there by a country mile. So, again, I agree with Michael Richards. Again, those comments were almost a year ago, almost 12 months. Buying second tier players. Matt Turner is a second tier player. Marquinhos is bought for the future. He's not going to be featuring in the first team. Now, who are the other players? Fabio Vieira, untested in the Premier League. You might say, well, his stats, add up, but can you transfer those stats from a Portuguese league to the Premier League? So I think he's right. Those comments 12 months ago, almost 12 months ago, still rings true now. We've only got one marquee signer in Gabriel Jesus, who will play in the first team, who will improve to a certain extent, but he can't do it on his own. So yeah, Michael Richards, those comments are right. I'm sorry, I agree. I agree what he said there. And then the last new segment of the live show. Yeah, this one might upset everyone. But let me pop this face first so you guys can let this one sink in. Kante. Dearie me. I'll put this one here. Not for me. Not for me. But it didn't stop club legend Kevin Campbell saying that, if the money's right, then why not? So speaking to Football Insider, former Arsenal player Kevin Campbell said that if the money is there, then Mikel Arteta's side should sign him. For me, if the money is right, I'll do it straight away. He's someone who knows how to operate in the Premier League, that's for sure. Yes, he suffered a few injuries last season, but his numbers are still frightening. He's still one of the best around, and the midfield area is still a massive problem for Arsenal. And just to think, I hadn't read this until early morning. It was a slight rant. There has been slight rants over the last 2 weeks about the midfield area. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense that you've gone into the market, you've brought players who are not going to feature in the first team. Listen, I understand it to a certain extent because, well, we're in the back of the Europa League, but you need to improve the first team. Players who are going to be dead starts in the first team. And Mikel Arteta, to this point, has not done it. Anyway, he goes on to say, we've seen them play games where the midfield just can't get a grip, especially when Thomas Partey isn't there. We need someone else who knows how to navigate and dominate. I don't think there has been a better exponent of that midfield engine room in recent years than N'Golo Kante. For me, no. I know Kevin Campbell has said that his stats are still frightening. He has suffered some injuries over the course of, I think, the last 12 months. But no, I think if we should have bought in N'Golo Kante, it should have been, I mean, 3, 4 years ago. Not now, not now. And I think there is now a stigma about having Chelsea players because of the Chelsea players that were brought in the past. So no, not for me. I'm sorry. I mean, you might come on live chat and tell me, actually, Alex, you're wrong, and then so be it. But I think I'm right. I'm right on this one. I'm sorry, people. Right. Okay. So it will lead me to go into the voting that we did. I think I put it up late yesterday. Was it late yesterday? It was late yesterday. I did it. I did it. I was the one who did it. Yeah, you can blame me for this. Let's have a look here. And what it was, it did. Oh, what it was, I did it on the live show, the repeat of the live show. So let me do it very, very quickly. Oh my goodness. I was sure I did it. Much like I thought I had an appointment yesterday, and yeah, it was a little bit of a disaster. Yes, anyway. So let me do it now. So how many more signings? Choose only one. All right. So let's start with, yeah. I'm not going to say the number. You see it for yourself. All right. I go for this one as well, maybe. Right. So how many more signings? Wow, it's been posted. It's been posted. There you go. I thought I did it, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay. I need to refresh the page and just see if there's been any other live comments. I see John the Geezer Guna, Bless Your Cotton Socks, has come into the live chat, and I think maybe have a bit of a tester to see if it's working. Right. Okay, let me refresh this. Okay. All right. And let me put this back up. There we go. Right. So I did check and DWTD's show that he did yesterday, and he also had a problem with not the app that the application he was using, but what he did kind of, but the problem stemmed from YouTube. They had some problems with their decoding. So it seems like it's probably working now, I believe. So come in live chat, again, let's see how far we get. It's going to be a short show. I've got probably another, let's say 15 minutes I can go for live. So come in live chat, let me know your thoughts about, again, Leroy Sane. Was I unfair to make a comparison with Leroy Sane and Gabby Martinelli? Or should I make a comparison with Nicolas Pepe and Leroy Sane? Yeah, well, listen, it doesn't matter, man. Let me know about that. And I've just posted the latest poll voting on the platform. So check it out there about how many more signings do you think? Johnny Geezer, I think you're wrong, aren't you? You're wrong, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you, Geezer? And let me go into our Twitter feed to see if there's been any comments there. Okay, all right. So there's been one. Okay, right. It's not related to it. I thought it was related to the morning show, John. Like he's just retweeting something else out there. All right. Go down to the bottom. My friends. Look here. What it says, read only. Okay. Okay. All right. So come on, live chat. Again, I'm going to just run it for maybe 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then it's going to be a short show. Let me know your thoughts again. Yeah. N'Golo Kante. Kevin Campbell says if the money is right, he would sign him straight away. Not for me. Not for me. But I respect his opinion. But Kevin Campbell, not for me. Now, also about the transfer policy. Michael Richards said almost 12 months ago that the policy, the transfers, Arsenal, you spent a lot of money this time last year, £150 million, but you're going for second tier players. And to me, that hasn't changed. Hasn't changed. because then we bought Ben White, Tommy Ashu, and there were other players there. And 12 months on, we've only brought Jesus. We're on the verge of signing Zinchenko. Again, two players. And all the others are not going to be sure starts in the first team. So let me know. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know. And of course, Leroy Sane, again, there's a video going to be coming up later on today. All right, let me go into the live chat and see. Well, you can already see who's coming in there. You can see in the live chat. It appears to be working okay. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Got to be careful because maybe Kevin Cam might come in the live chat and say, "Actually, Alex, I'm watching you. You are wrong." All right, Kevin, come in live chat. We can have a discussion. All right, so into the live chat for the first time, and we've got John who says, "One goes glad to see you survived the heat." I tell you, on my way to my appointment, I took. I mean, I was rushing here, but I got there with time to spare. Those of you who know North London, it was like Cockfosters, a little bit north of Cockfosters, Hadley Wood. Got off the bus. I said, you know what? Just take your time because you know what you're like, Alex. You know, you walk in quite quickly, you start to sweat, and you don't arrive at your appointment sweating buckets. Strolled into my appointment, got outside, and I was sweating buckets. Don't get me wrong, I love the heat. I did say yesterday, you know, those of you who are, you know, susceptible, you know, to the heat, you know, do the right thing, use your common sense. But I love the hot, you know, hot heat, the heat. I got there, I was sweating buckets. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, 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 I did survive. Thank you for that, John. Thank you for that indeed. Prospero, my brother, says, good morning, Alex and the Cannon family. No, I'm joking, John. I'm joking. I'm glad I'm wrong. To keep the faith. Keep the faith. It's difficult. You know, it's difficult. It's just, there's no ranting. I've got maybe 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes to go. No ranting this morning. It's just, I like to highlight, from my opinion, from my perspective, why I believe we've not won the Premier League inside 20 years, John. And there's a reason for it. You know, you might come with a different perspective, but keep the faith. I want Arsenal to win the Premier League every season. Every season. I mean, I feel disconnected over the last 4 or 5 years. I feel a disconnect from Arsenal, from what I've seen. But there's a reason why we've not won the Premier League for 19 years. And then you look at Chelsea, our London rival. I'm not going to look at the Spuds because they've not won anything. I'm not going to go there. But there's a reason for it. So, and things are not going to change. They're not going to change anytime soon. But I want Arsenal to have an elite mentality, much like William Saliba. You know, when asked again, like I said yesterday, when he was asked a question in that small interview, you know, so William, Saliba, what do you want to achieve in the season? So, I want to win everything. An elite mentality. Excuse me. An elite mentality. Anyway. Kelvin, good morning, says we need two more signings, a wide forward and a midfield destroyer. A destroyer. God, my goodness, a destroyer. Wow. This is Martin this time. I'm more worried about Smith Rowe. Yeah, he didn't play, did he? Against Everton. We travel all the way to the States to play against Everton. I thought it was just so funny, man. Well, could we not have played them in a friendly over here? And I remember the times, you know, the friendlies used to be, you know, against lower tier teams like Orient, Barnet. But we're traveling to the States to play against Everton. Ridiculous. Two more 6 foot centre forwards and a defense. Okay, right, a defensive destroyer. Yeah, right. Well, central defensive midfielder, and that of which Thomas Partey is not. Sorry. Cannon, tell Arteta to bring in Diaby and Tillemans for us to compete for top four. Kelvin, yeah, if I had his number, I probably would. The phone was ringing before actually before I went live. It might have been Arteta saying, Alex, can you say this before you go live? Maybe it was him, or maybe it wasn't. Or maybe he probably was reading my notes and said, Alex, don't say that. I'll say whatever I like, Mikel Arteta. I'll say what I like. Okay. Oh, what I was going to say, Kelvin, is compete for top four. The mentality should be to win the Premier League, not to compete and try and secure a top four. I think that's what you're saying there, isn't it? No, the mentality should be each season we're going to try and win the Premier League. Let's try and win it, not to secure a top four. But anyway, I respect your opinion. I do respect your opinion. All right, so it seems like the live chat appears to be working. Thank goodness for that. Yesterday was a bit of what was it, a non-starter, a missed-starter. Yeah, but I thought if you saw DWTT's show, I didn't watch the entirety. I just watched bits of it. I said, "Oh, this is how he managed to navigate and get the live chat." And there I am, like, oh, I'm kind of panicking here, panicking. But yeah, anyway. Any more comments? Let's have a look here. Oops. Is this Tillerman's coming? Is this Tillerman's coming? um, I didn't get to do the video yesterday because I was the heat and I have other bits and pieces doing right up until I did a Zoom call. What was it, after 6 o'clock? And I had a little bit of a little siesta. So I have not done the video when where David Ornstein is saying that, listen, the player has said that he wants to come to Arsenal. He's told Brendan Rodgers that he wants to leave. He's not signed. He's refused to sign a contract extension. He wants out. But it's a little bit complicated. Why is it complicated, John? Because Arsenal will have to sell a midfielder before another player can come in. Now, the reports I've seen is the midfielder is Granit Xhaka. That's what the report has mentioned there. But I think it doesn't have to be necessary. Well, I'm just saying it could be any midfielder, but ideally I would like it to be Granit Xhaka to find pastures new and find his pathway to Roma and play with Mooring. But yeah, the report says that he wants to come to Arsenal. He said it's documented that he wants to come to Arsenal. But it's complicated. It's complicated. Pesci, how are you? It's a long time, man. I hope you're keeping well. It is better for the Arsenal fans, America, from fifth place to win a league. It's not easy, please. Too much expectations. We've got to keep expectations because, and this is why I'm saying, you've got to have those high expectations. Otherwise, what's going to happen? The expectations will get lower and lower and lower. So I'm going to use this analogy, not analogy, but this story. You cannot call any of the players from the Emirates era legends. None of them have won the Premier League in the red and white of Arsenal. They probably come from clubs where they've won the Premier League, but you can't call any of the players who played in the Emirates legends. For you to have legendary status, the minimum would have to be that you've won the Premier League, and none of them have done that. Thierry Henry came back to play for a short time, but your requirement for you to be a legend, you must have won the Premier League. That's the minimum there. So you can't have that. You can't lower your expectations. The expectations keep getting lower and lower and lower. All right, if we win one trophy, we're going to be all right. If we can get into sixth place, that's an improvement from eighth place. If we can maybe secure, I don't know, maybe fourth to get in Champions League, that's an improvement. And all the while, the expectations have gone lower and lower and lower. And that's why I said I go back to the main point. He says, looking at the clock, I've got 5 more minutes before I end the show. The minimum has to be you go in to recruit players. Why? To win the league. That has to be the mentality. I don't see Pep Guardiola doing that. The man goes hard and fast. Who have they brought? Erling Haaland. I don't see Klopp with that mentality. I don't see Tuchel with that mentality. Only Arsenal. Oh, you know what? Don't have high expectations. We must hold Arsenal to the highest expectations. Otherwise, we'll become quickly a mediocre, a mid-table team. Oh, all right, okay, we're already there. We've got to have high expectations, my friend. But I do respect your opinion there. But my opinion has always been you must hold the team, the manager to a high expectations. We're not buying players to secure top four. We're not buying players just to win maybe one trophy. We're buying players to win the Premier League because we've not won it for 19 years. But I do respect your opinion. Is Zinchenko deal done or not yet? Good morning, Jay. It's not done yet. He's done his medical, and I know that, like they did with Gabriel Jesus, they just drew it out, didn't they, for the longest time? I'm thinking the man's in London. He did his medical, did the photo shoot because he was on top of the world. Don't draw it out. I mean, anyway, but it's not done yet. It's not done yet. So I'm waiting. I said to myself yesterday, most likely we're going to hear it maybe Friday or Saturday over the weekend that he's signed for Arsenal. But it's not, the official announcement is not yet. So, and to this point, it's still on speculation, isn't it? Because you don't see the photo. I've not seen any photos of him holding up the jersey. I've not seen any photo of him signing the contract. So hold fast, my friend. Hold fast. We are far away from winning the league with this present squad, in my opinion, but we trust the process. I thought Pepe was going to Leicester. I'm going through this very quickly because I do have to end the live show very, very quickly now. We need to raise our expectations, including winning the league. We pay to watch the games. OP, my brother, good morning to you. Said it right there. I'll give you a live comment in the chat so far. Ben T says, if we are making two more signings just to secure top four, I think it's a waste of time. Two more elite signings is the challenge for the title and nothing less. Sorry, man. You've just been trumped by Ben T. For me, that is the comment of the chat of the morning. What's the point of signing players just to secure top four or improve maybe one position from last season? Go hard and fast, man. Hard and fast. Pep Guardiola doesn't have that mentality. He's got a winning mentality, an elite mentality. Oh, we're going to get this player just to bump up the squad, and maybe we might get top four. I'm sorry. No. Good morning, Lynn. I'm getting a little cross with some of our fans because Spurs are in the Champions League and they could have bought the players if they were not. Alex, if we had brought some of these players, the fans will go mad. I understand it. I understand, but who just they announced yesterday, the Jed Spence, and you know what Martinelli said? He said, when I think he was asked a question, he said the most difficult player that I've come up against was the Jed Spence. And you're right. We have this mentality. Oh, this player. Oh, my goodness. Oh. He's not good enough to play for Arsenal. The Jet Spence is good enough to play for Arsenal. Good morning. All right, a couple more minutes because I have to cut a dash. Maybe Tielemans should look for another club because Arsenal is not minding about him from Uganda. Okay, thank you for that, my friend Kandole Jackson. SJH Films, good morning to you. We are buying players, but how many of them will improve the current squad? I've said that, haven't I? I've said that. How many of these players? And I did ask the question: how much say does Mikel Arteta have in identifying the players? How much money do we have in the budget? Buy players who are going to be sure start in the first team. Marquinhos is brought in, and I'm not having a go at Marquinhos. It's nothing to do with Marquinhos, but is he going to be playing the first team regularly? I'm just asking a question. I don't know. Right, just a few more. Literally, I have to go. Yes, I agree. We should be signing players to help us win trophies, not only make top four. Good morning, Sherry. I hope you're keeping well. We are buying players, but how many of them will actually improve our squad? Tottenham, Chelsea, and Man United are also buying. So let me ask you guys this quick question, okay? I've got 2 minutes to go now. If the transfer window was to stop, or we were to stop buying players, where do you think we would end up? Where do you think we would end up in the new season at the end of the next season with the players that we've got, without selling any players, without getting rid of any of I don't like to use the word dead wood, but where do you think we would end in the Premier League with if the window was to stop today? An elite mentality means you have to make ruthless decisions that people won't like. We're not an elite team. I'm sorry. We're not an elite team because we don't have players with an elite mentality. We might have maybe one or two or three or four, but four players. You need seven more. Seven more players with a winning mentality. Now I know there's all or nothing, and I've seen little bits of that. Okay, I think this has to be the last one now because I do have to go. SJH Film says six, in my opinion. I think Tottenham have a better squad. Yes, they do. They do. And Sherry says it seems like Edu and Arteta have different views about players we need to sign up to play in our midfield. And one more. Do we have any more? Okay, last one. Lynn, good timing. So, do you really think that if Conte was still serious at Arsenal, these are not the players he would go for? We have brought in two quality players. Ah, the main thing is, this is the perspective. I can't really. Conte is an elite manager. You only look at his trophy cabinet compared to Mikel Arteta. Like, I'm not saying this to say I'm Arteta out. With Conte, he is ruthless, and he's been backed by the hierarchy, whether you like it or not. At Spurs, put it there. I put it there. But they are buying players to play in the first team. Whereas we bought a mixture. Is it more of a mixture? It's like 30-70, 70-30. 30% of the players are going to play in the first team, and 70% are not going to feature in the first team. Guys, I have to go. I have to go because I do have an appointment. But I will be back. So let me put this back up. I will be back later on this evening. So join me then. We'll continue the debate. But I have to go. I have to go. I've got an appointment I need to get myself ready for. But thank you to you watching me here talking about Arsenal and actually end up talking about Spuds. I didn't want to talk about the Spuds. I want to talk about Arsenal. But I do have to go. And thank you for joining me. I see we're over 100, on this Wednesday morning show here. But I do have to go. I've got get myself ready for an important appointment. I've got to do another business Zoom call later on this evening. But I will be back later on this evening. Remember, the poll, the voting. How many more signings realistically do you think Arsenal and Edu and Arteta will get over the line? Until then, I'm saying goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Enjoy yourselves, and I'm out of here. This has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.